Welcome back to the channel, guys. Self Educated Economist here, and today we're taking a look at silver again. To me, this silver chart and the current silver price action is probably the most exciting chart to be looking at right now. Although I am seeing now here on the quarterly time frame that there is potential for bearish divergence from these highs with the RSI, of course, the divergence from price versus the RSI. So you can see the RSI made this high back here on October 1979, and then it topped out again here, the RSI, of course, on January 2011. And now, I mean, there's still a lot of time left to go before this closes. I mean, this will close, I guess, when January, February, March, end of March, this quarter will close. So maybe silver will rally higher and thus not creating a lower high here in the RSI. And the RSI could potentially go higher here on the quarterly, but it would need to do so in order not to create a bearish divergence. And at that point, we could definitely see, prices of, I mean, these EMAs are going to move out a bit in by the time. Well, actually, no. Excuse me. We'll see where these go, right? So they might go higher, they might go lower, but essentially, if the RSI does not go higher than the current level of 81.68, so it would have to get above this one in order for it not to create three drives of bearish divergence. So we need to get higher above 83.91 in order to prevent that. But as of right now, at current levels, if silver were to close at this point, and then and it would not continue. Let's just say it would not continue going higher in the previous one, and the RSI actually went lower. Then in the next quarter closing. So this is obviously a long term outlook at this. This is not something that's going to happen today or tomorrow. I think silver does have more upside here. But like I said, if the RSI does not go higher than this level here of 83, sorry, 83.91 by the time this quarter closes, and then the next one it doesn't continue to rise up and it actually drops down, then you're going to have potential for bearish divergence, and thus you'll see a pullback on silver. Where will it pull back? I have absolutely no idea. But in the medium to short term, I think silver is still quite bullish. I think silver can easily reconnect here. Sorry, this is a very long look here, because on the monthly there is no divergence to be had. So can silver pull back here, reconnect with this fast moving EMA, the red EMA, which is a 5 EMA on the monthly, reconnect, and then in the next month continue moving up? I think it's very possible, especially with how things are going worldwide. I think there's a lot of uncertainty in markets right now, and yeah, and I feel like this bull run is definitely not just, it's not getting started, but I do think in this quarter and possibly the next quarter you can see a blow off top. Like I've said in my previous videos, I think it could possibly get to $100, maybe higher. I personally don't have a position here in silver, but I don't know. That might change, especially if it reconnects with this red EMA. I would consider, having a small position in it and just seeing where it goes. So that's all I have for silver not this week, but for today. And let's take a quick look at what our old friend Bitcoin is doing. 1 second. Our old friend Bitcoin. Let's see what Bitcoin is doing. So it's actually pulling back a bit. So let's look at the CME futures. So it's actually pulling back a little bit on, yeah, so actually here at a monthly look, it actually looks pretty good to me. It looks like it got rejected at the monthly 5 EMA, at the monthly 5 EMA. So it seems like it's well, it's not quite rejected yet. It's early in the month, but it seems like it's finding resistance level here, which I'm not surprised. There was a lot of price action around that at that 95 $100,000 range back back in March and April of earlier this year. So I'm not surprised it's finding a bit of resistance there. But I do think it will ultimately break on higher. Um, yeah, I mean, it's not really. Yeah, so we'll see. Like, I mean, like my base case is that gold will essentially get back up to, sorry, Bitcoin will get back up to $100,000, possibly a little bit higher than that, and then it'll essentially create a bull trap and then get lower, and eventually over time visit our friend here, the 200 weekly simple moving average, which is currently sitting around $57 or so. But yeah, I mean, what does it look like for the monthly? Yeah. So I mean, I think all in all, this month you should see some higher prices in Bitcoin, although it's starting to struggle a bit. At least at this in the daily, starting to struggle a little bit. But I think it's still good here. I mean, it's pulling back a bit. I think that's to be expected. I don't think it's just gonna go up in one green bullish engulfing candle, but I definitely think it's going to revisit. And at some point, it's going to revisit this one, right? The 200 simple moving average on the daily. It's just a matter of time of when. Will it be out in March? Will it be, I think it's going to happen somewhere between this month, probably the end of this month, and as late as early April, but only time will tell. And yeah, I might be wrong about that. That's okay. And yeah, so if you're enjoying these videos, like and subscribe. If you don't like them, don't like and subscribe. Actually, dislike them. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Take care.